What's good, Vikings Nation? Skol, skol, skol. It's time to rally up and dive into the latest on our Minnesota Vikings. But hold up, Thursday night was a rough one out in LA against the Chargers. A 37-10 loss that stung like a winter wind in Minneapolis. So what's the silver lining in this storm? Stick with me, because we're unpacking the pain, the promise, and a whole lot of purple pride. Let's face it, that primetime beatdown wasn't what we hoped for, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Save for a Christmas Day showdown with Detroit, our Vikings are staring at a schedule that screams normalcy. No more overseas trips, just 4 straight noon Central Time Sunday kickoffs. That's a chance to regroup, reset, and come out swinging. What do you think, fans? Can we turn this ship around? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're breaking this down into 15 scenes of pure Vikings passion, news, stats, and a look at some legends gunning for the Hall of Fame. From Carson Wentz's tough night to a defense that needs to tighten up, we've got a lot to cover. So, grab your horns, crank up that Skol chant, and let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about that Chargers game. Our Vikings rolled into SoFi Stadium with high hopes, but the Bolts brought the thunder, dropping us 37-10. It was a night where everything that could go wrong pretty much did. Carson Wentz, our veteran QB stepping in for J.J. McCarthy, took a beating, 5 sacks, 17 pressures on 32 dropbacks, per Pro Football Focus. Wentz toughed it out, but you could see him wincing more than smiling. He finished with 144 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a 67.5 passer rating. Not exactly a stat line to frame, right? Across his 5 starts, he's got a 65.1% completion rate and a 6-to-5 TD to INT ratio. Vikings Nation, what's your take on Wentz holding down the fort? Should J.J. McCarthy get the nod if he's healthy for Week 9? The Chargers' defense was relentless, and their rookie tight end, Oron Gadsden II, was shaking things up like an earthquake in Southern California. Meanwhile, our O-line? Let's just say they didn't give Wentz much of a fighting chance. Stick around because we're diving deeper into what went wrong. Let's zoom in on that offensive line or lack thereof. The Chargers' D-line was in our backfield more than our running backs, and that's a problem. Wentz got sacked 19 times over his last 5 games, the second most by a Vikings QB in a 5-game span in 2 decades. That's not just a stat. It's a cry for help. Our short-handed O-line was overpowered, and it showed. Self-inflicted errors like penalties and missed blocks piled up early, setting us back before we could even blink. It's like we were playing with one hand tied behind our backs. Fans, what's the fix here? Do we need new faces up front? Or is this about coaching and chemistry? Head coach Kevin O'Connell knows reflection is key after a loss like this. He said it after our Week 7 loss to Philly, and it's true now. We've got to own the mistakes, learn, and come back stronger. Let's talk about how we do that in the next scene. Now, let's flip to the other side of the ball. The Chargers' offense, led by Justin Herbert, looked like they were back in early season form. Herbert was slinging it with precision, picking apart our defense like it was a practice squad. Their game plan was clear: exploit our slow start and keep the pressure on. Minnesota's defense didn't do us any favors either. Missed tackles, blown coverages, it was a rough night. The Chargers racked up points while we racked up regrets. According to NFL.com's Eric Edholm, our defensive miscues compounded those early offensive woes, making it a long night in LA. But here's the deal, Vikings Nation. We've got talent on this defense. Guys like Harrison Smith and Danielle Hunter can turn this around. So, what's the spark we need to get this unit firing again? Hit the comments with your ideas because we're not giving up on this squad. Let's talk about that silver lining we mentioned earlier. After that brutal Thursday night, the Vikings have a schedule that's looking a lot friendlier. For straight noon Central Time Sunday games, that's the kind of consistency we need to find our rhythm. No more jet lag, no more weird time zones, just good OL football. The only outlier? A Christmas Day clash with the Lions in 2 months. That's a big one. But for now, we've got a chance to settle in and play our brand of football. What's your vibe on this stretch, fans? Can we stack some wins and get back in the hunt? This normalcy gives us a shot to regroup, But it starts with learning from L.A. O'Connell's All About Reflection. And he's right. Let's figure out what's broken and fix it. Up next, we're diving into some legendary Vikings making waves off the field. Hold up, Vikings Nation. Let's shift gears to some epic news. For Vikings legends are in the running for the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. And it's got us pumped. Kicker Gary Anderson and defensive lineman Kevin Williams are among the 52 modern-era candidates, while Chuck Foreman and Jim Marshall are in the mix for the seniors category. Skol to that. Gary Anderson, who rocked the purple from 1998 to 2002, was a straight-up wizard. In '98, he became the first kicker to go 100% on field goals and extra points in a season, minimum 10 PATs and 5 field goals. With 2,434 career points, he's third all-time behind Adam Vinatieri and Morton Anderson. Should Anderson get that gold jacket? Let me hear it. Kevin Williams, a Viking staple from 2003 to 2013, racked up 63 sacks, 113 tackles for loss, and a Hall of Fame monitor score of 105.03, ninth among defensive tackles. This man was a force. Stay tuned, because we're breaking down Foreman and Marshall next. Let's talk about Chuck Foreman, Vikings Nation. This running back was a game-changer in the 70s, setting an NFL record for a running back with 73 catches in 1975. That's right, 73. He was a top 5 MVP candidate 2 years straight and the 1973 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Foreman's got the stats. 1. 500-plus carries. 350-plus catches. 75-plus scrimmage TDs. Only 10 of the 21 running backs with those numbers are in the Hall of Fame, and Foreman deserves to be the next. His versatility redefined the position, and Vikings fans know he's a legend. Do you think Foreman's getting that bronze bust in 2026? Drop your vote in the comments. But wait, there's another Viking who might have an even stronger case. Let's talk about the Iron Man himself in the next scene. Jim Marshall, Vikings Nation. Where do we even start? This man is the definition of an NFL Iron Man, starting 289 games in a row, including playoffs from 1960 to 1979. After 1 year with Cleveland, he became a Vikings cornerstone, captaining the team and leaving a legacy that still inspires. Marshall's 129.5 sacks ranked 25th all-time, his 29 fumble recoveries tied an NFL record, and his 168 approximate value is up there with legends like Ronnie Lott and Steve Young. Yet, somehow, the Hall of Fame has slept on him for years. Is this finally Marshall's year? Let's make some noise for him in the comments. The Hall of Fame talk is heating up, but let's not forget the present. Up next, we're circling back to what's next for our Vikings on the field. Back to the gridiron, Vikings Nation. That Chargers loss showed us something clear. We're not playing winning football right now. O'Connell knows it, we know it, and it's time to face the music. The question is, how do we bounce back? It starts with protecting the QB, whether it's Wentz or McCarthy. Those 19 sacks over 5 games? Unacceptable. Our O-line needs to step up and fast. Fans, what's the bigger issue here? Personnel or execution? And let's not forget the defense. We can't keep letting guys like Herbert carve us up. What adjustments would you make if you were calling the shots? We've got 4 straight Sunday games to right the ship. Let's break down what's at stake in this crucial stretch next. Alright, let's look at this upcoming schedule. For noon Central Time kickoffs, give us a chance to find our groove. No more primetime pressure, no more cross-country chaos, just football. First up, we've got to shake off this Chargers loss and come out swinging in Week 9. Who's ready for some Skol energy? If J.J. McCarthy's shoulder is good to go, we could see our rookie QB back under center. Wentz has been tough, but McCarthy's the future. Vikings Nation, would you roll with the rookie or stick with the vet? And what about that O-line? Can they hold up against the next D-line we face? This stretch is our chance to prove we're still in the fight. Let's talk about the keys to stacking wins in the next scene. So, what's it gonna take to turn this around? First, we need our offense to click. That means better protection, sharper play calling, and fewer self-inflicted wounds. We can't keep starting slow. Those early penalties and turnovers are killing us. What's your fix for our offense, fans? Defensively, it's about getting back to basics. Tackle better, cover tighter, and bring the pressure. Guys like Danielle Hunter need to eat, and we need our secondary to lock down. Who's your X factor on D for the next game? Drop it in the comments. We've got the talent, we've got the heart, now it's about execution. Let's dive into some player spotlights next to see who can lead the charge. Let's shine a light on some key players, Vikings Nation. On offense, Justin Jefferson is still our superstar, but he needs help. With Wentz or McCarthy at QB, we need our playmakers, guys like Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson, to step up big. Who's your go-to guy to spark this offense? On defense, it's time for Danielle Hunter to remind everyone why he's one of the best edge rushers in the game. And don't sleep on Harrison Smith. He's still got that veteran savvy. Which defender do you think can flip the script for us? Let's hear it. With these guys leading the way, we've got a shot to make some noise. Up next, let's talk about the bigger picture for this season. Zooming out, where do the Vikings stand in 2025? That Chargers loss dropped us to a tough spot, but the NFC North is still wide open. The Lions are looming, especially with that Christmas Day game, but we've got time to build momentum. What's your outlook for the rest of the season, Vikings Nation? O'Connell's got to rally this team, and it starts with these next 4 games. Win a couple, and we're right back in the playoff conversation. Lose, and we're looking at a long winter. What's the one thing you want to see from this team moving forward? Let's not forget our Hall of Fame hopefuls. They're a reminder of the pride in this franchise. Let's wrap up that talk next. Back to the Hall of Fame buzz. Vikings Nation, this is huge. Gary Anderson, Kevin Williams, Chuck Foreman, and Jim Marshall represent the heart and soul of our franchise. Anderson's perfect season, Williams' dominance, Foreman's versatility, and Marshall's Iron Man legacy. They're all Vikings legends. The seniors category, where Foreman and Marshall are in the running, only picks 3 finalists, so the competition's fierce. Meanwhile, Anderson and Williams are up against 51 other modern-era candidates. Who's got the best shot at Canton? Drop your pick in the comments. This Hall of Fame talk fires us up, but it's time to bring it back to the present and set the stage for what's next. Vikings Nation, we've been through the highs and lows today. The sting of that Chargers loss, the hope of a friendlier schedule, and the pride of our Hall of Fame hopefuls. One thing's clear. This team, this fan base, we don't quit. Skol Vikings. Let's rally for this next stretch. What's your prediction for Week 9? Can we bounce back? Or do we need a bigger shakeup? Smash that like button if you're still riding with the purple and gold, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss the latest Vikings news. Share this video with your fellow Vikings fans, because we're stronger together. Let's keep the Skol spirit alive and push this team to greatness. Until next time, Vikings Nation, stay loud, stay proud, and let's get that W.